Today, what we're going to be talking about is exercise. Reading the book, as I was sharing with the ladies and the gentlemen up here, reading the book after the first 3 chapters, I put it down and said, I don't want to read anymore. This is not a very good book to be reading. However, I picked it back up and I made it through. It got better. It wasn't because it was boring, it was scary. It was very scary. Something that all of you probably need to read 5 or 6 times before you get to that point. The book did turn out wonderful, and I was happy. It did make a statement in there, though, once where it says that when the day you're born is the day you start dying. And that's reality. We're not born to live forever. We're going to have an ending. And my spin on the book is, let's have fun until it's time. And what does that mean? That means you have to take care of the vessel that you've been given until that time. That's exercise. Many years ago, people worked their fields, and of course you've heard your grandparents. We walked to school both ways, uphill for 10 miles in the snow and the rain and the sleet. And you may be too young to hear that. I don't know. But that was one of the stories that we heard. That's what people did. They worked in their gardens. They walked to town. They walked everywhere they needed to go. They rode horses. They got out and played. They played tag. Kids played back then. That was exercise. Well, now with technology, we sit behind our phone or behind a computer, so we have to make ourselves get up and exercise. And that's why, I have a job. Because we have to have formal exercise because of all the technology that we've set ourselves up for. But my job is probably the best job on earth. I get to work with people every day. And the people that come into where I work come in because they want to come in. That's even the best reason. But I do have a class. It's called Forever Fit. We meet 3 days a week from 9:30 to 10:30. So they don't have to get up at 8 o'clock. It's okay. But of course, at this point in time, they're up at 5 o'clock, I guess, now. But that class, probably the average age of that class is somewhere between 70 and 80 years old, yes. I have 95-year-olds in there. I have 92, 93. I might have a 65, 66, 68. Most of these are retired people. They've been with me ever since the inception, most of them, the inception of the class 20 years ago. And then we've added a lot. At any point in time, I'll have anywhere from 35 to 50 people in this class. Now, what are they wanting? I ask people who join my class, exactly what are you wanting to get out of this? The biggest answer I have is, I don't want to fall. People that age, people when you get up into your ages, they have a fear of falling. So they come in and they say, I don't want to fall. Okay, well, we'll teach you some exercises and go through some stuff that will tighten your core in hopes that that will keep you from falling. The second thing, if I do fall, I want to be able to get up off the floor without calling for help. You've heard that commercial. Help, I've fallen and I can't get up. They don't want to do that now. So we do exercises that build their legs, build their core, build their hips, so that and we practice. I have 90-year-olds that come into my class 3 days a week, and 3 days a week they are getting down in the floor on a mat. Teach them how to get down, teach them how to get back up. So far, everybody's gotten up. I've had a lady that came into me probably a year or two ago, and she said, Kathy, I just don't think I can get down in the floor anymore. I said, that's fine. We have mat tables. Use the mat table. she used the mat table for about 3 months. She came in to me one day, she said, Kathy, I'd gotten down in the floor looking for something, so she purposely got down in the floor, and she said, I could not get up. My legs were not strong enough for me to get up. Well, if you don't do it, you don't know if you can do it. And that's kind of the way I direct that class. If you can get in the floor while I'm here, while everybody else is here in a safe environment, and you can get up, then you know in your head and your heart that you can get up. So you'll figure out a way if you get in that situation. If you never do it, you don't know. And of course, that's another one of the biggest unknowns is that you don't know. So that's why the class is set up that way. I have others who come in and say, you know, I tried to put my pants on standing up, and I stumbled around. I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't stand on one foot anymore. Well, my suggestion to them was to sit down and put your pants on. They thought that was funny, but what we work on in this class is, again, core strength. Core strength helps the balance. You can either make a decision to have a healthy vessel in life, and I'm saying vessel as your body, in life, throughout your life, or not. That's a decision that you have to make. Nobody can make it for you. When they come into my facility and into my class, to me, that's what they have made. They've made that decision. And this book can go on and on and on, but you can either have a healthy lifestyle as you grow older or not. And I know there's things that happen. There's always going to be something that happens. But when you exercise, you have that mindset that I'm going to get better. If you don't exercise, not so much. Also, exercise has been tied to improved memory. So they're looking at research into Alzheimer's, dementia with exercise. So people who exercise have better outcomes of life. They have better thought processes on life. And to me, that's the way I want to go. We all have to make that decision on our own. But you as individuals right now, if you exercise, that's wonderful. Keep exercising. If you don't exercise, start exercising. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you're too old to start an exercise class. I've got people who come in that are 80 years old and say, well, I've never been a big exerciser, but I really do want to get up out of the floor if I fall. I have a gentleman who has a brain tumor. His main goal is, when he started my class, his main goal was to be able to get out of the floor if he fell, because he had a wife that was ill that he had to take care of, and she could not physically get him up out of the floor. He was 6'2", 3", she was probably 5 foot. His main goal was to be able to get up out of the floor. His brain tumor, he had several years before he got to me. It started growing. He started my exercise class. He's been in there for about a year. The process of the tumor has slowed, practically stopped. He's still getting up out of the floor with help, but he's getting up out of the floor. His outlook on life has completely changed, and in the midst of all this, his wife died about a year ago. So now he's got it all on his own. He expected to go before her. She expected him to go before her. He's still here. There's reasons, I truly believe that there's reasons for him to be here, but he has taken it to the next level, and he is making the best that he can make out of it, and he's happy. He laughs, he smiles, he cuts jokes. He would have never done that a year ago when he walked into my class. now we pick on him. So, that's what I take from the book, is that you need to take care of your body. That's it.